Hello people, in this quick tutorial I will basically illustrate how to deploy your Rails application to AWS CodeCommit. So CodeCommit is a bit like GitHub, so you can, instead of using GitHub, you can use CodeCommit. So this quick tutorial will show you how. So first of all, I'm logged in as a root user. This is the user that I signed up with. So what I'll do is I'm going to create a separate user that has permissions to CodeCommit, and we'll use him to demonstrate. So first of all, go to IAM. Okay, so create this user, call him CodeCommit1. Give them both programmatic and AWS console access. So we'll just write a quick password. Okay, so next what comes is attach the a policy. So this is what the user is allowed to do. So for now we'll just give him administrator access. So that what that means is he'll have access to everything, a bit like what the root user can do. So we'll go with that one. Okay, so that's being created. So we've got two things here, very important. We've got the access key ID and we've got the secret access ID. So this one will only show this only one time, so you'll have to either copy and paste it, or what I like to do is download the CSV file that has both of the keys in there. So we have both the secret ID and the access key. That's done. That is cool. So next what we need to do is we need to actually log in as this user. So go back to this user, click on this user. So here it tells you the URL that you need to go to in order to log on as this user. So with this one, you'll just copy paste this URL, and let's open up an incognito window. Okay, so we had CodeCommit1 as username, and the password is. So we're logged in as this user now. So the next thing to do is go to CodeCommit. So I'll just back up for 1 minute. Looking back at the a app that I created earlier called Students. So we've got students here. When I run this Rails server, we have it running here. Create a repository called students. Alright, very important in this bit. So you've got two forms of pushing your commits. You can either set up a HTTPS form of pushing your commits, which means that you'll need to use a username and password for every time you actually make a commit, which is not practical. So what I like to do is set up the SSH method, because it would mean that you won't have to type a password and username every time you push a commit. So let's have a quick look at that. At the moment I'm using a Mac OS, so it will give you steps to do the setup. So let's quickly go through that. Alright, so you have a quick read here. The part that we are really concerned with is this part, step 2, which is actually generating the SSH key, and step 3, which is doing the settings in the config file. So let's go into our terminal and quickly set that up. So first of all, we need to create a SSH public key and a private key. So we'll just come here, we'll go to our SSH directory. Cool. So we are in our SSH directory. So what we'll do is we will SSH keygen, and we'll create a new SSH. Let's call this AWS CodeCommit. Boom, no passphrase, and that there it is, it's being created for us. So we've got the public AWS and the private AWS keys. So what we got next is we need to set up a config file in the SSH directory. So let's go ahead and create a config file, and we need to place these settings in there. So let's quickly copy these 3 lines and create a config file. Alright, so let's go through it line by line. So the first line we will just leave as it is. We don't have to do anything with it. The second line is the user ID. I'll just let you know how to get that in a minute. And the third line is the public key, the private key that we just generated. So we'll put that in there as well. So first of all, let's get the IAM SSH key from the console. What I'll do is I will go into IAM, and we've got one user. Go to that user, so we go to security credentials, and we come down to where it says SSH ID. So what we do here is we will upload our public key. So to do that, let's go back to our terminal. We'll just save that for now, and the public key, we will basically cat the public key, and we will copy and paste it here. Boom. Okay, that's all been done. Now this has created a SSH key ID for us. So this is the ID that we need to basically copy and paste, and we need to put in the config file where it says right here your IAM SSH key. So boom, that is it. So that's been done. So we've got the AWS CodeCommit private key here. We've got our AWS ID, and the jobs are good. And so we've set everything up. So let's just see if it's working. So to do that, let's go back into our students app. student. Now the git log that we've got here, we've only got one commit, and it says first commit. Now we will have to set up the git commit origin. So what we will do is copy this part, SSH students, boom, git remote at origin, bang. We've set up the origin address, so now we can simply just git push origin master, and this is the first time, so you say yes, and it's going, it's gone. So now we've pushed our app, existing app that we have, onto AWS CodeCommit, and if we refresh this page, we should be able to see the repository. Yeah, and that's all been done now. So that is it. Hope it was not too long. So now if we just have a quick look at the commits, you should only see one commit, which is first commit. I can make a second change. Okay, we push, and we don't need no password, no username, which is great. And now we should be able to see our second commit done by me. Yeah, here it is, a second change just now. Great. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you.